Hey everyone, welcome to the top 10 list. Here's my top 10 favorite movie characters. Yes, I've done a lot of top 10 lists about characters. I've done top 10 favorite anime characters and TV characters, and I actually thought I made a top 10 list of my favorite movie characters, but apparently not. I did not, so here we go. Here's my top 10 favorite characters in movies. And yes, this is not my opinion of what the best characters are or the most compelling and interesting characters are. These are just my personal favorite characters. Alright, let's get started. Here's my top 10 favorite movie characters. And as always, before a top 10 list, you gotta have your honorable mentions. My honorable mentions for my favorite movie characters are the Joker from The Dark Knight, Gandalf from Lord of the Rings, Margie from Fargo, Lieutenant Aldo Raines from Inglourious Basterds, Woody from Toy Story, Scar from The Lion King, Spock from Star Trek, John McClane from Die Hard, and Roy Batty from Blade Runner. All great characters. Just couldn't make the top 10 list, but we're debuting my top 10 as my number 10. My number 10 is Severus Snape from the Harry Potter franchise. As you saw my top 10 favorite Harry Potter characters, Snape is my favorite character. And yes, some people are like, oh, well, like, he doesn't really say much or even do much, and you are wrong. He does a lot. He does more than any character in this entire franchise. Yes, Harry Potter is the boy who lived. He's the one who defeats Voldemort. But without Snape and his memory at the end of Deathly Hallows Part 2, yeah, Harry wouldn't be able to accomplish that because he wouldn't find out that he himself is a Horcrux. And Snape did all the sacrificing in this movie. Who knows? I don't know how it all played out. Maybe Harry would have still beaten Voldemort, but I think Snape was the key of defeating Voldemort. And honestly, Snape did all the sacrificing. He's the more compelling, more interesting character in my opinion. I think Alan Rickman did an amazing job. I think his flashback scene is one of the greatest scenes in all of cinema. He's just an interesting, fascinating character, and the fact that he's grumpy all the time just makes him all the more hilarious and all the more awesome. And yeah, I love Severus Snape. He is my 10th favorite character in movies. Coming number 9 is Celine from the Before trilogy. Yes, I love the Before trilogy. Such amazing movies, written by Julie Delpy and Ethan Hawke themselves with Richard Linklater, directed by Richard Linklater. I think all three of these movies are amazing. They're the greatest romantic movies I've seen. This is romance done right. It's just real life, realistic romance. Just about two people talking about each other's lives. That is what all these movies are, and they're amazing. And Celine is my favorite character, and she's one of my favorite characters in movies. I love this character, Celine, played by Julie Delpy. I love her in each one of these movies. I love how she does grow as a person in each movie, and she kind of gets more bitter as the movies go along, but that's just life. When you get older, sometimes you get more bitter, you get more pissed off, you get more bitchier and stuff. She's a little crazy, but I love her as a character. I find her fascinating. I love how intellectual she is. Smart, determined French girl who just wants to make her way through life and just be with a normal person, be with a smart, intellectual, caring person, and she just has a lot of motivation in life, and she's just a dreamer of a character. And then Before Sunset, she's an even more intellectual, an even more caring person, and a more fascinating person, even though she's kind of a manic depressant, but she's still fascinating. I love her conversation. I could be just like Ethan Hawke in these movies and just talk to her all day. It'd just be a never-ending conversation of awesomeness, funny things about politics, movies, poems, books. She's an awesome character. Again, she gets a little more stressful in Before Midnight, but I still really enjoy her. Yes, she's very attractive, and yes, she has a French accent, but I love her mind. I love how passionate and caring she is. I love her as a character. This is the kind of girl I'd love to have as a future wife, but yeah, I love Celine. She is my 9th favorite movie character. Coming number 8 is Han Solo. Yes, Han Solo in Star Wars, of course. I love a lot of characters in Star Wars. I love Luke, I love Lando, Leia, Chewbacca, even the new characters like Rey, Finn, and Kylo Ren. I love Star Wars characters. Star Wars is my favorite trilogy of all time, come on. But yeah, Han Solo has always been a favorite. I loved him. I looked up to Han Solo when I was a kid. I just love that he isn't like a powerful person, like he doesn't have a lightsaber, or he's not one with the Force or anything. He's just a smug rogue pilot, and he just makes his way through the galaxy and stuff and takes odd jobs and stuff. He's basically Captain Malcolm Reynolds. Well, or Captain Malcolm Reynolds is just like Han Solo. Yes, he's the kind of guy who will shoot you if you do get in his way, but he's still a very caring, very dashing character. Yes, he does come off a bit smug at first, and and just a person who only cares about himself, but he grows throughout these movies, which makes him an even more fascinating character. He grows to be a hero. He's more of like an anti-hero in the beginning, but he becomes a true hero. He saves Luke Skywalker in the first Star Wars when Vader's about to kill him, and he helps Luke destroy the Death Star. And in Empire Strikes Back, I find him the true hero, because Luke Skywalker, throughout all of Empire Strikes Back, he just constantly makes bad decisions. Han Solo is the person who saves Luke in the beginning by cutting open that tauntaun, and he saves and protects Princess Leia throughout the whole movie, and he's the one that gives his life, or just gets frozen in carbonite at the ending, to save Leia and Chewie and all his friends. He is the true hero, and that is why he is my eighth favorite movie character. Number 7 is, yes, some people are gonna be like, oh my god, stop talking about this movie. I can't. I love this movie. Even though it came out last year, I still love it. This movie is on my top 10 favorite movie scenes, and of course the 2 lead characters are on this list, and that is Anna and Marni from When Marni Was There. I've loved this movie. Even though this movie just came out last year, I think it's such an incredible movie. I bought the Blu-ray. I've seen this movie 11 times, and still, like I say, it gets better and better. It's going down as one of the greatest animated movies out there. It's so good. I love these 2 characters, Anna and Marni. I think they only work when they're together. When they're separate, they're still very interesting and very compelling and riveting characters, but them together makes them more interesting because they're fleshed out characters. They learn more about each other, and you get more sympathy through both these characters when they're telling each other, when they're telling their backstories, because they're both have very tragic backstories. Marni's is even more tragic than Anna's, but Anna is such a very relatable character for a lot of people, because she's a social outcast. She's afraid that her parents or her foster parents don't care for her. She has a problem talking to people. She feels more comfortable alone, but when she runs into Marni, who is almost sort of like her, because she has bad parents and, you know, she doesn't have a good upbringing, but she's more like a talky person and a jokey person, so they complement each other, which makes them such great and interesting and awesome friends, and I love them. This is probably like one of my favorite movie friendships in movies, and when you find out who Marni really is to Anna, it just makes the story just more interesting and just more lovable, and I just love this movie. This movie is so good. I love how it's written. I thought Hironobu Yanabashi directed this movie so freaking well. It's one of my favorite Studio Ghibli movies. It's one of my favorite animated movies now. It's so amazing, and I love these 2 characters. They're amazing characters, and they're my 7th favorite movie characters. Number 6 is Ed Wood from Ed Wood. Yes, Edward D. Wood Jr., the worst director of all time. Yes, this is more of a romanticized or dramatized version of Ed Wood, because I don't know anything about the real-life Edward D. Wood Jr., because he's dead now. But in the movie, played by Johnny Depp, in the movie Ed Wood, I love this movie, Ed Wood. It's my favorite Tim Burton movie. I've gone on and on about this movie, so I'm not going to talk about the movie. I love the character Ed Wood. Even though I think Martin Landau gives a better performance, I just love the character of Ed Wood. I love just how passionate he is about filmmaking. Even though he makes utter garbage, he's made shitty movies, he's a terrible filmmaker, but he just has so much passion and creativity, or he thinks he has creativity, and I love his passion. That is why I love the character so much. I love passionate characters, and Ed Wood is the most passionate character I have seen in cinema, and that is why he's one of my favorite movie characters. I think he's also very likable. I think he's very funny. I think he's a little dim-witted, but that's what makes him more interesting and more quirky and just more entertaining to watch, and I just love Ed Wood. I love his passion. I love that he tries his hardest. Even though he doesn't make good movies, I still enjoy him as a character, and he is my 6th favorite movie character. Number 5 is Rick Blaine from Casablanca. Yes, here's looking at you, kid. Wall is at Paris. Yes, Humphrey Bogart, amazing. Why didn't he get an Oscar win for this damn role? Like, this is an Oscar-worthy performance. A win, like he deserved an Oscar for this damn role. I loved him in African Queen, but he was amazing in Casablanca. I love this character. He's got one of the greatest character arcs in cinema. He's an awesome character. You think he's kind of an asshole character. Yes, the character comes off a bit of an asshole, but that's just because his heart was broken by the woman he loved, but when she comes back into his life, he grows more as a character and becomes the character he once was and everything, and that leads up to one of the best ending climaxes in cinema and one of the best last lines in cinema. Louis, this is the start of a beautiful friendship, and yeah, I just love the character Rick Blaine. He's a great, cool, suave character played by Humphrey Bogart, and yeah, he's awesome, and he's my 5th favorite movie character. Coming number 4 is Dr. Peter Venkman from Ghostbusters. I'll make this quick. He's a great, funny, suave, sarcastic guy, and he's just my kind of person. His kind of comedy, Dr. Peter Venkman, played by Bill Murray, is just my kind of humor, and he's just the funniest movie character. That's why I love him so much. Like, if I had to pick, like, my favorite comedic movie character, it's Dr. Peter Venkman. I think he's one of the funniest characters in cinema. He is so great. He is so funny. I love Bill Murray in this role. I love all the Ghostbusters. I love Egon. I love Winston. I love Ray. I love all the characters in Ghostbusters, but Dr. Peter Venkman is hands down the funniest and most charming, and I love his personality and his kind of comedy, and that's why he is my 4th favorite movie character. Coming number 3 is Ellen Ripley. Yes, Sigourney Weaver should have won an Oscar for Aliens, and yes, I love Ellen Ripley. She is my all-time favorite female character in a movie. I love her. She's badass, but she's also really smart and also very caring. You can tell she was once a good mother. You can see that mother-daughter relationship with her and Newt in Aliens, and I love Ellen Ripley as a character. She's such a great and smart character. She's the smartest character in all these Alien franchises, even when she's a damn robot in Alien Resurrection. I love her. She's an awesome character, and I just freaking love her. And Sigourney Weaver portrayed her so amazingly well. Again, she's cool, she's suave, she's intellectual, and she is so brave. She is a brave woman. Even when she has no training at all, she will go head-to-head with a xenomorph because that's just the way Ripley is. She's awesome. I even love her in the shitty Alien movies like Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection, but she shines in the first 2 Alien movies, and I love her. She is my all-time favorite female character in cinema, and she's my 3rd favorite movie character. Number 2 is Darth Vader. Yes, my all-time favorite movie villain, Darth Vader. Of course, Jay Vader's. Come on. Yeah, Jay Vader's also is my last name, but anyways, I love Darth Vader. He is the true embodiment of evil, but also good near the ending. But yeah, that's what makes him more interesting, more complex. He's got a great character arc. I love Darth Vader. Not prequels, Anakin Skywalker, no. I am talking about David Prowse / James Earl Jones Darth Vader. He's an awesome villain. In Star Wars, he's this very menacing, voiced villain. I can't do the voice very well, but it's Darth Vader. I love Darth Vader. I always loved Darth Vader when I was a kid. I actually wanted to be Darth Vader. Everyone called me Darth Vader in school. They meant to make fun of me, but I took it as a compliment because it's Darth Vader. He is the true embodiment of darkness. Well, the Emperor is more evil, but that just makes him more interesting. You know, Return of the Jedi, when he's questioning his good and evil side, he's questioning the lightness inside of him, and he's trying to fight it, while Luke is trying to fight the darkness within him. It just makes him more complex, and the fight between them is just more compelling and interesting, and I love him as a character. And when he died in Return of the Jedi, come on, tears. It's so sad. I love Vader as a character. He's a great villain, but also has a great character arc, which turns him into a good guy in the ending, which makes him an even more fascinating character. And yeah, Darth Vader, 2nd favorite movie character. My number 1 favorite movie character is Indiana Jones. Yes, yeah, Harrison Ford. He does a lot of roles that I just love. Love Han Solo. Han Solo's amazing, but Indiana Jones has been my hero since I saw Raiders of the Lost Ark when I was like 6 years old. I've always wanted to be Indiana Jones, but to be honest, I wanted to be everyone. I wanted to be Batman, Spider-Man, Darth Vader, Han Solo. I wanted to be everybody. I was greedy. But Indiana Jones was the one I always found like my hero. He was always my hero, and I loved Indiana Jones. He is just a great hero, very compelling, interesting, badass hero. I love Indiana Jones. He looks awesome with the fedora, the jacket, and the whip, and just Harrison Ford's charm and charisma. I love him as a character. He's awesome. Raiders of the Lost Ark. I love the opening to Indiana Jones. You see him with the whip and everything, getting the object and running from the Phobitos, from Belloc and stuff. He's very funny. He's very smart. He's a professor. He teaches archaeology and stuff, and all the girls like him. He's almost like James Bond, but of archaeology and stuff. And I love him. I love James Bond too. Just Indiana Jones is more of my hero. I love him in Temple of Doom, Last Crusade, even Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, a very hated movie, but I love him in that movie too. Even though he's old, he's still my hero. Like, this is what Indiana Jones has been throughout my whole life, and that is why he's my favorite character. He's just always been my hero. Anytime someone says, who is the greatest movie hero, I always say Indiana Jones. Is he a flawed character? Probably. Every character in cinema is probably flawed a little bit, but I don't care. Indiana Jones is my number 1 favorite movie character. So yeah, that's my top 10 favorite movie characters. So yeah, in the comment section below, please tell me, what are your top 10 favorite movie characters of all time? Comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please like, subscribe to this channel, and join the dark side.